Yes, all right, people. Welcome back to Kosi's Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi. It is another 1-0 draw. Arsenal 1, Burnley 1. And Mikel Arteta has just said in his in his post-match, press conference that someone explained to him what a penalty in the Premier League is. So if you're sure you know how VAR gives out penalties in the Premier League, you can be very, very, very hopeful to Mikel Arteta. Please do email him or call him or try to get his contact. Or, he said he doesn't have a Twitter handle, so probably you can use email or use the Arsenal official website. But anyway, welcome back, people. Please do smash like button and subscribe. We are trying to get to 20k subscriptions, and that is not by my power. It is your power. If you subscribe, and then we get to the levels that we want to, it's going to be a big family. And it's not me. It is all about you guys. It is 1-1, and this is your match reaction. But look, this is a game that has so many things to talk about. Very many. First and foremost, I'll talk about the starting lineup. Burnley, David Luiz, Chambers, Kian Tierney, Pablo Mari, Bukayo Saka, Thomas Partey, Willian, Xhaka, Odegaard, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. This is starting lineup that could win any game on any day for us. So I don't think Mikel Arteta got it wrong. And anybody who wants to blame this loss, because we lost 2 points, on Mikel Arteta, you're doing a very big mistake. It's not on Mikel Arteta. I think what he did, especially in team selection, was spot on. It was just the right thing to do. But I think the problem comes in when we try to go down on the pitch and now try to administer the tactics. What should we do about Burnley? And this is why I hate myself, because I had to do a tactical preview of this game. What should we do against Burnley? And I didn't do that, and I'm really sorry. But for me, I thought if you're going to beat Burnley, if you're going to play Burnley, you have to force them onto the wall. You have to, you have to get them, you have to press them on the wall. We didn't do that. Actually, Burnley had very good statistics in this game, better than Arsenal. If you look at our statistics today, we had a total of 13 shots. Burnley had 9 shots. Shots on target, we had 3. Burnley had 5. So that means they literally had, more shots on target than we did. So, if all shots on target were converted, they could have won the game. In possession, we had 58, and they had a 41.5%. Passes, we had 580. They had 413. Passing accuracy, they had 82%. We had 82%. They had 73%. Now let's talk about the possession, and let's talk about the chances and shots in this game, because for me that is where we got it wrong. That is where our tactics got it wrong. First and foremost, you're playing Burnley, and you have 58 ball possession, and they have a 41. For me, that is already ridiculous. That's ridiculous, because you expect Burnley, if Burnley were playing Manchester City or playing Manchester United, they'll be playing a low block. They'll be playing a very defensive game. And if I can show you, on this board, I was trying to predict this game, how it was going to be, how we were going to set up, and all the tactical, all the tactical ways, we would actually beat Burnley. And I said, I think Burnley are going to play 10 men, at the back, and then with the goalkeeper. I didn't expect Burnley to have Chris Wood, looming around with the ball, getting fouled here and there. But it was different. I think what Burnley did actually is they played football as if they were our equals. There are two players. There are two players matching our, matching our centre backs. They had, their midfield. They almost had around 3, they almost had 3 or 4 players, as part of the midfield. So Partey, Xhaka, Odegaard were always occupied, because, it was, Burnley was equal to the challenge. And for me, I didn't expect this, that's the truth. I expected us to beat Burnley, hands down, first and foremost, but I also expected us to play very, very brilliant football against Burnley. Of course, we did miss, a couple of chances, and I know you're going to talk about those chances, but these are not chances. You're saying the Arsenal has missed chances because we played so well. We missed chances because they naturally occurred. in the game. Chris Wood missed a very easy one. They should have, had 2 goals to one. We could have, gone down on a couple of occasions. And I think the problem was we never put Burnley on pressure. The problem was pressing. The press was so poor. Granit Xhaka very, very poor today. And I don't blame him. He has played almost 11 or 12 consecutive games, in a row. He's one player that is not rotating, and I don't know why. But of course, I can't really blame him for that goal. We conceded. Those mistakes do happen. I mean, it's not like he makes such mistakes on a daily basis, so those mistakes do happen. But I think it was a little bit sloppy. I thought Martin Odegaard would actually, control the game, move from left to right to the middle to the center. And I think I saw him doing it, but without the ball. He never had options. I think I was let down by Bukayo Saka on a couple of occasions, because I think today is the time when Bukayo Saka had to, had to flourish. He had to, just destroy Burnley. But I also may not blame him so much, because we played Chambers instead of Hector Bellerin or Cedric, and I think this was a disaster for Mikel Arteta. I don't know why he plays Chambers. Chambers is not overlapping. Chambers is not. He plays this kind of football like he's a centre back, in a full back position. So he was not providing that, that amount of, help you would have expected, a player like him, to provide to a player like. Bukayo Saka. So I thought we missed more of these runs from Bellerin, but also missed more of these runs from Kian Tierney. In the second half, I think he was a little bit better. Because the goals we could have scored, I think all of them were actually coming from Kian Tierney. He had set up Pepe in a very brilliant manner. I think he had also tried to set up. I think he had tried to set up Pepe on 2 occasions, but Pepe didn't actually take the chances. But I think that that could have been the game changer. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. We should talk about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, because right after the first 20 minutes, Aubameyang is lost. But I want to give him credit for his goal first and foremost. I think he scores a very brilliant goal. Very, very brilliant. And I really loved it. He scored the same goal he scored against Newcastle. It seemed that he's no longer a box striker. He's one that really prefers, getting that ball from the wider areas, then tries to cut in and takes the shots, especially the low corner shots, and they are really working out for him. But he was absolutely lost. And this is why I didn't agree with Mikel Arteta when he put off Martin Odegaard. I don't know whether he was trying to cover for the Olympiacos game, but I thought he could have put off Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, because I think his runs were a little bit insignificant, especially in the second half. We were trying to look for that striker who could actually beat either Ben Mee or his partner, because I think Burnley, and I said this in the preview, they are excellent defensive-wise. They were going to defend you, 24/7, and they did that brilliant well. Apart from the from the Aubameyang goal, I think that was a little bit, yeah. But I think Aubameyang never had a very good second half. Actually, he played around 70 minutes of ridiculous football, very ridiculous football. So I would have put him off. I would have put off Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang instead of Martin Odegaard, because what for me I do not understand is he puts off Martin Odegaard, he puts off Thomas Partey, yeah, and then I ask myself, what is he doing? Because he puts off Martin Odegaard and introduces Alexander Lacazette. I think the truth is, where Odegaard plays, Lacazette can play, but not giving you the quality of what Martin Odegaard would offer. So I think that was a mistake. If you wanted to introduce Alexander Lacazette, which I think was a very brilliant idea in the 70s, I think Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was to go off. And in the first game I had said we should play Lacazette, because Burnley is a game, Burnley is a team that, sets up to defend, to defend against you. It's not like you're going to play Burnley and, they're going to be equal to the challenge like they were today. So it's all about, they leave the ball to you and you build up an attack, and then, what they do is to become detrimental to everything you build up. Today it was a little bit different because our build-up was so poor. I didn't see Thomas Partey hold that ball for significant time. Granit Xhaka was so awful. I think one of the players that I was really impressed with in this game was Willian, because I think Willian was Willian really had a very, very good game. But one of the other things I did see, and I think we should actually take note, is actually how predictable we were when we were playing against Burnley. Look, when Saka got the ball, this was the kind of run he made. When Kiantiani made the ball, this was the kind of run he made. So I think we were so predictable in this game. And when Martin Odegaard had the ball, this is what he did. Try to look out for Aubameyang. Try to look out for Saka. This is what I want. Okay. Try to look out for Saka. Try to look out for Willian. Yeah. Which is not bad. But if you look at this kind of play, it's a little bit very, very predictable. So predictable. And I think we played right into the hands of Burnley because they knew what we were going to do. And that's what exactly we did. We needed something better. We needed something special. We needed to surprise Burnley on a couple of occasions. And I think it happened when Pepe was, when Pepe had come on the pitch and we had a couple of, depth on the pitch. Pepe getting 2 chances. Those should have been goals, Pepe. Before we think about the penalty, he should have put those, in the back of the net. I mean, yeah, I want to believe, look, I want to believe that Pepe is unfortunate not to get a penalty in that game, yeah. But the first goal, how the hell does he miss that chance? Oh my God, I mean, I just can't believe it, yeah. I just can't believe it. How the hell does he believe that, miss that? And the second goal, I think, look, I think for me, I think I'm gonna say this, but I think that was a shoulder. A red card that was too harsh, ruled out, and then Peters gets a yellow card. But I think that was a shoulder, and it was purely not intentional. To put his hand there. But the first one is a penalty, and let us actually discuss that before I forget, because I'm really talking about, talking too much about this game, and I'm actually forgetting why I'm actually here. I'm here to laugh at Mikel Arteta because he said someone should explain to him what a penalty is. Take a look at that. I think it's very visible. You could see it on your screens because it's visible on mine. Take a look at this and tell me how this is not a penalty. Actually, this guy holds the ball on 2, very similar occasions within, a spell of 13 seconds. And VAR does not, VAR does not give a penalty on any occasion. This was ridiculous. So ridiculous. Really, because, I mean, how is this explained? Ball, hand in ball to hand, hand in a natural position. I mean, how do they explain this? And I think this is where all the problems are coming from. The rules are not set out very clearly, because for me, I think that's a penalty. I don't want to lie. Maybe I do not understand. I don't understand the rules so much, but I've tried to read around them. I think that was a penalty. That should have been a penalty, and Arsenal were cheated. We were cheated, in that extent. But before we talk about being cheated, lastly, in this video, let's talk about how we should have been beaten Burnley. The truth is, if I can get my pen, in here, this is how we were supposed to beat Burnley. Burnley always play a low block. They have 10 men behind the ball. You have Thomas Partey, you have Martin Odegaard, you have Willian and Saka and Aubameyang. So beating the low block of Burnley should never be a problem when you have such quality. And I was listening to some of the analysis around, and some lady was saying that Arsenal have a lot of quality to compete with any team, and that's not true. But I think we have the quality to beat Burnley convincingly, and this is what we should have done. I think Kiantiani would have been able to make those runs until where the line ends, and have no problem with that. And then Willian, because what I thought was, you let Kiantiani run until the end of the pitch, and Willian gets the chance to run inside That's what I thought. I thought that is what we were going to do. I thought it was going to be Cedric or Bellerin. I thought they would run until the end of the pitch and then give a chance to Bukayo Saka to run inside. Now, what that means is that you're going to have a lot of chances created from these two players. Bukayo Saka, who gets a lot of time, into the penalty area, as well as Willian getting a lot of time in the penalty area. Then behind them, is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who's coming in as a false 9, because we know Aubameyang is not a typical 10, although a typical 9, although he scores the goals quite very well. So I thought the ball would actually concentrate around the 18 yards box of Burnley, having players like Granit Xhaka, cross over the pitch like this, and then Pablo Mari and David Luiz would be at the center line, providing the support as Chambers or Bellerin or whoever occupies the flanks. I thought this is what I thought this was going this is what was going to happen, and the job of Burnley was just to block these spaces. That is what they do best, and that's what Sean Dyche has done for the rest of his career at Burnley. This is what they were supposed to do, but actually what we did was become very sloppy, lose the ball all the time, and Burnley kept the ball more better than we did. Actually, it changed to an extent that it became like Burnley were using the wider areas so well, very well. They had these long passes coming in, and they also had these very very many short passes pressing us into our penalty area. And one of the what causes that is you're going to commit mistakes, and that's what Granit Xhaka did. He makes this ridiculous mistake because you're under pressure from Burnley, and I think they got it right. So if I'm doing my 5 reasons why we lost to Burnley, we lost 2 points to Burnley, I'm gonna say Sean Dyche got it right. Press Arsenal. And they don't have a plan B. So Mikel Arteta doesn't have a plan B, because I think bringing Pepe, bringing on Lacazette, that is not a plan B. Those are mere substitutions. That is what I think about the game, and those are my thoughts. Tell me what you think about this game. I'll see you and speak to you in a minute.